And welcome back to Across the Board with Ian the Colonel here on Hawk Radio, hawkradio.org. And again, I know I always harp on it, man, but the best bands every week. The show just keeps getting better. I don't know. We top ourselves every single week.
It's hard to outdo ourselves sometimes. But
it really is.
We manage to every time.
One of the best, one of my favorite alt-punk bands out there. Huge following, these guys. Been on hiatus for a little bit. Back with a new effort. Ryan Key from Yellowcard is on the line with us right now. Ryan, are you with us?
I'm here, man. What's up?
Oh, man, we're doing well. We're doing lovely today, man. So let's talk about the new album. You guys were on hiatus for a little bit. Great success with the past albums and Ocean Avenue. But you, from what I've read, you guys are really, really excited about the new album. When You're Through Thinking, Say Yes is the name of the new album. And then For You and Your Denial is the new single. Tell everybody why you guys are so excited about the new album dropping.
I just think that we took some time away from the band, and the future was pretty uncertain two and a half, or however long ago, years it was. And the fact that we were able to come back to a place where we all wanted to work on another record, and and then actually went through with it, and it just was such an exciting, awesome process. And I think that the record we made really reflects that and how excited we were to get back to work. And I think we just this ultimate Yellowcard record. I think that if you're a fan of our band or have ever been a fan of our band, this album is exactly what you would hope to get from us. And we worked hard to do that, and it was important to us that the record we made is something that our fans would be really excited about. And because the more excited they are about it, the more excited we are to go out and tour and play it and hang out with them and just be up on stage, getting that reaction, that energy from them. And so, I don't know, man, we're just super fired up to get back to work and get back out there traveling, touring, and then meeting all the people that make it possible for us to do what we do.
Now, Ryan, talk about the recording process for this. You guys actually were in separate states, Seattle, LA, and Phoenix. And from what I hear, you guys were sending demos back and forth to each other through email before you actually sat down and recorded. So how does that seems atypical for bands these days. How does that recording process work? How does that affect the creative process?
I think it was really, really cool for us because we had so much time to work on the record. Usually the way it goes is we're out on tour and then we come home. We maybe have a few weeks off, and then we get right in the studio and start writing and recording. And this way, we had time to really sift through the ideas that we loved and the ideas that we didn't love as much. And Sum 41 made a record a few years back called All Killer No Filler, and I think that's sort of what this is for us. I mean, it's just every song on the record is a song that we were all five super excited about, super passionate about, because we had so much time to work on all of them. And so I think it actually ended up really working out for the better that we were sort of in four corners of the country. I live back east in Athens, Georgia, right now. So I was doing most of the traveling because most other dudes are out here on the West Coast, like you said, Seattle, Arizona, LA, San Diego. So, but it was a cool process. It was different for us, and kept it fresh, which is I think really important. I've been saying, in some of the interviews and stuff I've been doing, and I really mean it. It really felt in a lot of ways like we're making our first record again. It was just such a collective effort. We were all five so involved in it. And that's I think that's why it sounds so purely Yellowcard,
And I'm loving it. We've only heard obviously the new single, but loving it so far. And it starts actually with a violin, kind of a violin solo. So it's immediately recognizable as you guys, and just loving the sound. Really excited about the new stuff. And you're actually going to be touring in our area, so we plan to see you in the next coming months as well. Talk a little bit about. A lot of you guys met at a performing arts high school. I know you went to that high school. What is that like, going to a performing arts high school, and I guess what sort of advantages does that give you over, I guess, when building a band?
Yeah, I've always, whenever I talk about high school to people, I really feel lucky and fortunate. I think I had a really different and and fortunate experience in high school than a lot of people get to have. We didn't have any sports programs in high school, and I don't say that because I hate sports. I love sports. I'm a massive college football fan. I'm a huge soccer fan.
You're a Georgia Bulldogs fan, right?
Yeah. I live in Athens, Georgia. I have season tickets. I love it, but being creative and growing up in the arts, and then going to a high school like that where the booster programs are putting money into the arts programs and not into the sports programs. I mean, it was incredible, and you surround yourself with the people at the school that are as passionate as you are about what you do, and it's just an incredible environment to learn in and to grow up in. So I wasn't even in any kind of music department. I was in the theater department. I went to college for theater. That was sort of my life goal, was to move to New York and become an actor and do live theater. But I always had a band in high school, and I knew the Yellowcard guys. They were a band before I was in the band. But it's just such a creative environment. Everybody's always hanging out and writing music and playing guitar and singing and writing and creating, and it definitely played a part in our level of dedication to what we do and how determined we were to go out. When I did join Yellowcard, and we decided to move to California and stuff, I think it started in high school, that level of devotion and dedication to creating art and doing what we do.
Yeah, you said that they were a band before you joined. Actually, your drummer and sort of violinist, he was sort of an original member too, but basically the drummer LP is the only original member. So how does that affect the overall sound? From what we can tell throughout the albums, you have the exact same sound, which is great. We love it, but you keep it consistent. How do you do that? And then when they brought you in, the band's sound changed from hardcore punk to, I don't like the term pop punk. I don't like pop music.
I don't really put the word punk in anything that we do. It's just, I grew up listening to, big influential bands for me, Bad Religion, NoFX, Lagwagon. Those are punk bands.
Absolutely.
We're at Yellowcard. We have definitely heavy influence from listening to that music as we grew up as songwriters, but there's nothing punk rock about our band,
So, but talk about how you coming into the group, how that changed things. You came in, you're lead vocals, you're the lead songwriter, and you play rhythm guitar as well. So how did that affect the sound? And like I said, how do you keep that consistency?
Well, I was writing songs in the vein of the way we still write songs when I was coming out of high school, in the bands I was in high school and stuff. And obviously it's changed. It has changed a lot since then. For me, just learning as a songwriter and growing as one. But when I was asked to join the band, a big part of it was they as a band were saying we kind of want to go in a more pop, pop punk, pop rock, whatever you want to call it, direction with the music, and we really, we like the songs that you're writing. And I remember I came home for spring break in 2000. That was from college, and that was when I first played with the guys, and I knew right away. They were so talented as musicians, which again I think goes back to our going to school, where we went to school, and they were all in the music program. And it's just playing with them and playing the songs I had been working on writing and showing them to them and them learning them and playing them. And over that week, I just knew that this was the most talented group of musicians I could be playing with, and the best way to make the songs that I was writing come to life. And, so it changed pretty. Once I was in the band, it just was a completely different direction musically. And I was actually a pretty big advocate for changing the name of the band when I first joined it, just because, we still lived in Jacksonville at that point. Nobody had any idea of what was going to happen, what did end up happening to our band was going to happen,
Right.
So I was always just kind of I think we should maybe change it because it sounds so different, and the fans that you guys already have are going to be pretty bummed. And they were like, no, it's good, dude, we're fine, we're all good, I guess I'm glad that they won that argument because it worked out, so.
Ryan, you've had a successful album in Ocean Avenue, your fourth studio album. You sold over 2 million albums in the U.S. alone. What is that feeling like to have such a popular album, be able to hear the phrase platinum album?
At the time, it was mind blowing, overwhelming, and now it's an accomplishment that I'm so proud of for doing, and something that we certainly never imagined was going to happen, to our band. For me, it's it's just incredible that we were able to reach that many people, with our music. And we sold whatever it was, 2 million, whatever, around the world. And but then you also think about the people who got a copy from a friend or downloaded it or however they got their hands on it that aren't on paper as someone who actually went and purchased the album.
Right. It's a compliment. It just doesn't help you that much, right?
You what?
I said it's a compliment that somebody would give the album to somebody else, but that hurts your bottom line in the end. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying that it's like who knows what the number goes to at that point, and
right.
It's even more people that heard that record and have been turned on to our music and affected by music. So I just it's amazing to me how many people we've been able to touch with our music, and that's just, when I think of the platinum record, it's not so much I think about like how awesome I am, you know what I mean? I think more about how amazing it is that we were able to accomplish something like that. Right.
But that's what makes you guys good artists. I find the best bands are the ones who appreciate their fans and aren't just, doing it for the money and the, all the nonsense, but, that really enjoy what you're doing. You're not doing it for a job because of the job's sake. You're doing it because you love it and you happen to get paid for it. But let's talk about you're the main songwriter as far as lyrics and everything. A lot of what you write about is what most people experience from day to day. You have highs, you have lows, you have heartbreak, you have loss and that sort of thing, which makes great songs, makes great drama. But if your life is going great for a couple of years, can you still write a pop song about that, or an alt modern rock song about that, or would that change things?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I write based on the things that are happening in my life, and I honestly, I guess I'm not going to say that my life has never been going great, but there's never been a time in my life where there hasn't been something, a struggle or a challenge that I didn't want to write about.
Right.
It's like right now everything is really amazing, that we have this opportunity to come back to life and make a record and go out and tour and travel the world, and but there's still plenty of things in my life that are, in turmoil. I have a family member who's been diagnosed with brain cancer, and we
Sorry to hear that.
how long that's going to be, and that's something that I definitely wanted to write about. I mean, as a songwriter, it's important to have those things to write about for other people. I mean, at least for me as a songwriter, I care way more about how the songs help other people or affect other people than how they affect me. So when something like that's happening in my life, I have to dig deep and even if things are going amazing, I have to dig in and find those things that I know are going to help other people through the same type of experience that I'm having.
When you're on stage, what does it feel like to you're out there, you're singing these songs you wrote personally, and you're projecting your feelings out to a crowd of thousands, hundreds of thousands. What kind of feeling does it give you at the end of the day, though, while you're on the stage? Is it like a numbness, a calmness that goes over you, or is it an overwhelming feeling of excitement when you're performing out on stage?
It's definitely my favorite part of what we do. Being away from it for 2 years, that was the hardest part. It was really good to have some time for myself and to be with my family and my friends back home, back east. But I not being able to play shows was the hardest part to deal with. And it's all the things you mentioned. It's, there's moments where you do just kind of lose yourself in a kind of numb sort of way, and there's moments where you're just laughing out loud because it's such an amazing, happy experience. Those are the best moments, man. That's when you really feel like a team. You feel like you're all in it together, and you're just the champions of the planet. You know what I mean? It's the best feeling. So, I love playing. I love the shows. It's my favorite part.
Again, you're listening to Across the Board with Ian the Colonel here on Hawk Radio, hawkradio.org, with lead singer and rhythm guitarist Ryan Key of Yellowcard. Again, one of our favorite bands here. Playing all the old stuff, have been for a long time. I think my favorite Yellowcard song, definitely love Ocean Avenue, but my favorite is actually Only One. Ryan, what's your favorite song of your own? I mean, obviously, with writing the lyrics, it's very personal. These songs are close to your heart. Yeah. So what's your favorite, and whose music do you enjoy? Who do you like to go see, musically in shows?
Picking a favorite song is so hard, man. especially now that we just added another 10 songs to the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't pick a favorite like a kid, right?
But I will say a highlight for me that I know as a songwriter and as a band was the song we did for the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. It's called Gifts and Curses.
Right, yeah, love it.
That song was just really fun to do. The way we did it was cool. It was like, we were on tour, and we got the call that they wanted us to be a part of the soundtrack, which was exciting because we'd never done anything like that. And we ended up having. I mean, this is how insane things were for a while with our band, like how just total. And I hate to use this word, but just total rock star crazy happening. And it was like we're on tour. We need to do this song, so we're writing it on the bus as we go, as we're trying to get it done. And then Neil Avron, our producer, and his engineer fly from L.A. to New York, and we booked this crazy awesome studio in New York City because that's where we're going to be. So we take like 2 days off in New York to go to the studio where Neil has been flown by the label to record the song. It was just crazy. It was such a cool experience as a recording artist. You know what I mean? To get to do something like that.
That's great too, because I'm sure with
and then we ended up the song just so happy with how it turned out, and it was on that soundtrack, and it was, I don't know, it was really cool. And I love that song. I love the lyrics. I kind of pretty much wrote it about Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and so that was fun to do.
So that must have kept the energy flowing too. They flew your producer across the country, so that's great that you were able to get right into it. So you wrote the song about Peter Parker. You're obviously into comics and that sort of thing. How do you feel about so many of your songs being in video games and that type of thing? Like Madden and those types of games. I remember that's I used to play Madden every day in '04 and would hear that song. And I'm like, yeah, that's my song.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, those are all the things that you just every time you get a call on something like that, you're just like, wow, really? It's amazing. It's just amazing. Another amazing thing happening for our band. I think Madden was a really cool thing, and we've been on 2 of them so far. We were on, I think, the 03 or 04, I can't remember, and then 07 also. And I think that's really awesome because that shares your music with so many different kinds of people and different music fans, Madden is the best selling video game of all time. I mean, everybody buys it. And so there's so many people who would have never been exposed to your band that are, because they get that game. And I think that's the best thing to take from something like that.
Right.
Short of the new album coming out in a matter of weeks, what is in the future for Yellowcard and for yourself personally as well?
Just one day at a time, man. We're so excited about the tour coming up, and we want to pour everything we've got into that and into making it amazing and performing the best we can. And we're very fortunate that we're going out with on tour with All Time Low, who is a band that is really doing well right now, and I think we're going to get a chance to play for a lot of fans that have never seen our band or maybe even heard of our band. And whenever you get a chance to do that, it's a great thing, especially for a band like us that takes so much pride in our live show, and how much we care about making our live show amazing. And so that's all we're focusing on right now. And then we're just going to keep looking the year up and taking it one tour at a time, and then hopefully all this leads up to us going back in the studio and playing and making another record. So I think that I don't see any other kind of hiatus coming in the future. I think we had the time we needed, and we're really ready to just that's our full-time job. Our goal is to consume our life again, and we're excited.
Well, I'll tell you, Ryan, I know you guys need the rest, LP, Sean, and all the guys, but I'm glad to hear you say no more hiatuses for a while. Love the music and just and keep it coming. Keep in touch with Yellowcard. The website is yellowcardrock.com. Again, yellowcardrock.com. You guys are on Facebook. You're on Twitter, YouTube, everything out there. You guys pretty much have it, right?
Yeah, we have. It's pretty much everything. Just / Yellowcard.
Yeah, right.
Whatever website / Yellowcard.
And again, the new single out is For You and Your Denial. Check it out. You can stream that on a lot of different places. And the album actually drops March 22nd, right?
Yeah.
That's still the date? Okay, good. So the new album, check it out, is When You're Through Thinking, Say Yes. Really looking forward to hearing more than just the one track, but loving it. You guys definitely are coming back with the same that same energy and sound that you had before. So we appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you so much for being on with us. Again, this has been Across the Board with Ian the Colonel here on Hawk Radio.
HawkRadio.org.